If you're anywhere near the Blue Mountains west of Sydney, there's a really good ride from Wentworth Falls down to Glenbrook here via the Anderson Firetrail, which then leads on at Woodford to become the Oaks Firetrail. So what you do is you can park here at Glenbrook station, take the train up to Wentworth Falls. It's about half an hour and the trains leave about every hour. Then when you get up there, you get off the train, you ride back down the highway here for about 2 kilometres until you hit a pot shop, and that's the King's Tableland Road. And so you head out on that, you keep riding and riding and riding, you think you'll never get there, but you ride about 12 kilometres until you hit the Anderson's Firetrail, and it's quite well signposted, you can't miss it. Just go up about 100 metres, step around the gate, and then you get on this really fast Firetrail. This is really fast. At some points you can get up over 50 kilometres an hour. As you can see, it's very smooth, very fast. There's not very many big climbs along. This is mostly downhill, so it's a really fast run. Beautiful bushland, some nice scenery, and quite smooth in most places. And you can really get some speed up along here. You go through an area called the Blue Labyrinth. Lots of nice bush around, best on a nice cool day. And then you hit this at about the 10 kilometre mark from the Tableland Road. You hit this very steep downhill. It's quite bumpy, rocky, a lot of rocks as you can see. You click those up, and that goes very steeply, and you're on the brakes all the way there. You can hear the brakes complaining going down the hill. And go a bit careful down here, it's quite steep, and you just go down, 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 and all the time in the back of your mind you thought you've got to come back up the hill again. So as you can see, it's a long steep downhill. It's a very nice run. And eventually you'll get down to the bottom to Bedford Creek, and when I was there, as you can see in the video, it's quite flooded. It's actually the bike was almost underwater, but most of the time it's not. You can ride through there, just get a bit of speed up, and you ride straight through there. And you come down the bottom, there's a couple of German tourists I met, backpacking or at the back, and you come down the bottom, and this area between the two creeks, or the two creek crossings, is this beautiful area with these white gums and ferns, and it's just a really nice environment, nice place to camp. And you just ride along there for about a kilometre or so, and you come to the second crossing of the creek. There's my giant X29er, and you cross the second crossing, and this one here was quite deep at this time as well. Normally when there's not much rain, it's quite easy to cross here, but on this occasion the water was almost up to my waist, and the bike was almost getting washed away, and you could see the bike was actually floating, and almost being dragged out of my hands downstream. And that is the end of the downhill for the Anderson's Firetrail. As you can see on the other side, the Firetrail starts to go up once you get past the creek. And this uphill climb goes for about 10 kilometres up to Woodford, and it's very, very steep in parts, and you don't be embarrassed if you have to walk, because it's very steep in parts. So it should take you about an hour or so to get up to Woodford on this Firetrail. The video here doesn't show it very well, but it's quite steep. So once you get to Woodford, you then hit the Oaks Firetrail. And the Oaks Firetrail, it's about 13 kilometres of tending uphill. There's some ups and downs, but it's tending uphill. And as soon as you hit the 13 kilometre mark, it's all downhill for about 15 to 17 kilometres. And you can either take the Firetrail, or you can take this really nice, fast single track all the way down the bottom. And then it's just this very steep climb out of the valley up to Glenbrook. The total distance of the whole Anderson's and Oaks Firetrail is about 60 k's, and you should do that in about 4 hours or so, maybe a bit less if you're going home, but that's sort of the time it will take to do it. So there you go.